Hey guys, today in this video, I'm going to start doing these videos more. Next, I think I'll do Spider-Man, but today I'm going to rank Toy Story 1 to Toy Story 4, in my opinion, after watching these films again over the weekend. Let's get into the video. Alright, I love all of the Toy Story films, and after rewatching them, I love them even more. This video is so incredibly hard to do for me, but I really want to do it. So coming in last place, it's not a bad Toy Story film, but I'm going to go with Toy Story 4. Now, Toy Story 4 is a fantastic film, and I did enjoy it, but it just doesn't live up to the original trilogy, in my opinion. It was an enjoyable film. It was a very Woody story. Bo Peep was good. It would have been nice to have seen the OG suit from the first two Toy Story film. It had a lot of heart in the film though. Bonnie was fairly good. The toys were fantastic. I didn't think there was enough of the other toys though. It was, as I said, it was more of a Woody film and meeting new characters. So you've got all these characters like Combat Carl, Kaboom. But overall, Toy Story 4, an enjoyable film, a lot of heart, an emotional ending, which if you've seen my spoiler review, you know, but I won't mention that now. But I just don't feel like it lived up to the original trilogy. There were some awesome moments, but I think Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 were a lot better than this one. Next up, we have Toy Story. Now, I want to put this film higher on this list, but after rewatching, you've got to give props to Toy Story. It was so ahead for its time. It was the first completely computer animated film. Sid was a fantastic villain. The introduction of Buzz Lightyear to Woody and the gang was awesome. The first time seeing the aliens at Pizza Planet, this was a film that really brought imagination to children in the 90s. I think it was released in 1995. I was born in 1999, so I watched some of the film, but growing up, it wasn't the one that hit the nail on the head for me. But after rewatching it, I appreciated it so much more. It's really cool that, and I'll mention it later as well, but there's some scenes that are in all the films that we don't realise, I don't think. So you've got scenes like Dr. Evil Porkchop, and you've got Mr. Potato Head being the villain, One-Eyed Bart. Some of the quotes are reused throughout the film, but I think that Toy Story is genuinely a classic. I want to put it higher. I love it to bits. The moment with RC and the truck, Bo Peep, but I just think that Toy Story 2 and 3 were better films, but Toy Story was fantastic. Coming in second place, I have Toy Story 3. I was going to swap Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 3 around. I love Toy Story 3. If this was going on drama, I think this would, and even emotion, I think this would be my favourite Toy Story film without a doubt. The story of Lotso and the childcare. Andy growing up is such an emotional thing. There are some amazing scenes filmed in this. The garbage scene, the goodbye to Andy is one of my favourite scenes in movies. It just, watching it again, ripped my heart out. I've only watched Toy Story 3 twice. I haven't watched it in years, but I did this rewatch for this ranking video, and for that reason, I don't know, there were so many good things, so many comedic moments, and don't get me wrong, Toy Story 4, out of the 4 films, could be the funniest, but Toy Story 3 hits the nail on the head. It's the perfect conclusion to the Andy story. And he has become such a good person. He doesn't forget about his toys. He puts them first. There's so many plot threads to the film that tie together nicely. It was the perfect end to a series. In my opinion, Toy Story 3 should have been the end of the film. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy Toy Story 4. The conclusion was just epic. As I said, the garbage scene, there was a lot of action in Toy Story 3, a lot of cool moments, and I liked seeing Zurg in the post-credit scene, because I'll talk about him in a minute, but I really like Zurg, and I would have liked to have seen him more in the Toy Story film. But in second place, Toy Story 3, the fantastic conclusion in my opinion. Coming in at number 1 for me, the film that I grew up with, I love it, and I'm going to put it in number 1, Toy Story 2. Now, this film went through hell to make. This was originally going to be a straight-to-video VHR, if you want to call it back then, film. It worked so well. Owl was a fantastic villain. The Prospector seemed really good, but obviously he was a villain in the end, which was cool. The introduction of Jessie, Bullseye, the fact that the toys are leaving their home for the first time, going into the big world, even the scene where they're crossing the road with the cones, there's so many iconic moments for me, and I think growing up with the film is why it's my favourite. The airport scene is fantastic. The ending feels a little rushed, but you've got to give it credit for what it is, and the fact that they went through so much hell to make this. Originally, I'm pretty sure in this film, it was going to be in Taiwan, where Buzz went faulty. I read the script, but that obviously didn't happen. We had this fantastic story. And Zurg, I mean, it was a bit silly, the Star Wars moment, I am your father, a bit. Anyway, which is funny because Disney now own Star Wars. But Zurg is fantastic. The design, I hope they make a pop vinyl of Zurg. I want it. If they've got a pop vinyl Zurg, let me know. But I think that Toy Story 2 was the perfect example where the sequel outdoes the original. I'm not saying the original is a bad film, just in my opinion, Toy Story 2 is the perfect film for this series. And it just created so much character for these toys. We met them in number 1, and we experienced them, and we got sad with them, happy with them throughout these films. Toy Story 2 has so much emotion. I can't believe that Toy Story 2 was the introduction of Mrs. Potato Head. She was mentioned at the end of Toy Story 1. I didn't even realise that she wasn't in Toy Story 1 until I rewatched. But I had a blast watching all 3 films over the weekend. I've seen number 4 twice. That's why I've put it where it is. What do you guys think? Where are your rankings for the Toy Story film? So my order, to recap, Toy Story 4, Toy Story 3, and Toy Story 2 from worst to best. But as I said, it's not the worst. It's just the weakest in my opinion. All of these films are enjoyable. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want to watch my next ranking, I'll see you guys in my Spider-Man ranking films.